You know, there's something about TMF Apparel USA that I never really talked about since launching this brand, and it's been a giant problem. It's probably the biggest problem as someone who launched an apparel brand that you could have, and it's my fault. And I'm here to explain to you what that is. And that is, why should you wear TMF Apparel branded clothing? What does it mean to me? What should it mean to you? This is a huge problem for me because I never addressed it. I just launched it and just run with it. And here's the thing, I print a lot of different t-shirts, anything from inspirational quotes, funny pun designs, gym shirts, motivational shirts, MMA gear, you know, my favorite TV shows, all kinds of fun stuff. Over 300 designs on my Etsy page alone and on my Shopify page. And what I needed to address was, why TMF? Where did it come from? Well, there's actually, honestly, there's two reasons I chose TMF. The first one came from my uncle, who on vacation a few years back with the kids, he said that there was an acronym called the Mills Factor, which was, if anything could go wrong, it'll probably go wrong. And he called it the Mills Factor, and I laughed. And when you put the acronym there, it's TMF. And TMF's, you know, for the family-friendly version of it was the Mills Factor. And then, you know, I went through a time in my life where things was tough for me, and I'm still going through times like that all the time. It seems like life is just difficult. Sometimes you just get your ass kicked, and it's not about being a badass MMA fighter. It's not about being a gym rat who spends all your time in the gym. It's not about getting gains. It's not about any of that. What being a tough motherfucker is about being tough mentally, to understand that no matter how bad you get pushed down, you can get back up. It literally applies to every single person on the planet. Sometimes we get our ass kicked by life. Sometimes we don't get the job we want. Sometimes we get fired from the job we love. Sometimes we get sick. Sometimes we lose family members. We lose relationships. We have arguments with our spouse, our kids. Sometimes it feels like the world is out to get you and there's no way to get around it. And what that means to me is that sometimes you just have to deal and address these problems head on to get out of them and overcome them. And when you overcome any obstacle in your life, you feel like a tough motherfucker. That's a fact. It's not about getting in there and just beating the brakes off of somebody in the octagon, which I love to watch. It's not about surviving war, which is amazing that people go and even want to do that job, want to go overseas and risk everything to fight for your country, to maybe not ever come back home in an endless war. Those are tough motherfuckers. It's people who get up and go to work in a hospital knowing that that day, the decisions they make could end someone's life, also could save someone's life. It's people who do the things every single day that nobody wants to do. And that's something that could be a job-related problem. It could be a life-related problem. There's things in your life right now. Right now, there's something that you have been putting off for far too long because you simply don't want to do it because you're comfortable, right? And you don't want to be uncomfortable, which is fine. You can do that. You can take that time to do that. Know that eventually, if you want to overcome it, all you have to do is change your mindset, get up and overcome whatever it is that obstacle is. You can find a way. And I've had these days. And for me, a lot of times what I end up doing is, for me to face my problems head on, is I'll just take an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours, however long it takes, and I'll just lay down and I'll just think about every single thing. I'll just let it happen. Sometimes it's overwhelming, the amount of responsibilities you have, the bills, the debt, relationships, kids, family, everything just compounding all at one time. Let it happen. Face these things head on. And then pick one and overcome it. Sometimes the thing that you need to do is just get up and get out of bed. Sometimes just getting out of bed will make you on the way to being a tough motherfucker for the day, because we lose a lot of battles in the day in life. You're not going to win that many, you know? Even the people that you think are out there just doing absolutely amazing and crushing life have battles of the day. They didn't get to that status without struggle, without frustration, without stress, without heartache. You know, rarely do people meet somebody, the only person they've ever met in their life in a relationship, get married, live happily ever after. That's not real. Real is people meet somebody and they find out whether or not they may or may not be compatible. They move on. Find a job they think they love, and then they end up hating it, and they move on. This is life. You know, you go to the gym, you try to lift something that's too heavy, you can't lift it. You go back, take a few steps back, you know, reassess, build yourself up, and then go conquer that obstacle. That's what being a tough motherfucker is for me. Sometimes you just look at the daily life and go, how do I get around this problem? And it could be a small problem or it could be a big problem. The size of it is irrelevant. And the fact of the matter is that you shouldn't care about what anybody else thinks as you get over the hurdle that's in front of you. That is a fact. Unless you give a fuck about what other people think, the happier you'll be. Because if you're doing stuff just to make other people happy, you're not going to be happy. At the end of the day, you're going to feel drained. You're going to feel unappreciated. You're going to feel overworked, underpaid, everything. And just know that if you get up tomorrow and make a step forward to making yourself happy and putting yourself in a good place, that makes you a tough motherfucker. That's what it's all about to me. It's about doing things that you love. It's about getting out of that cog that we're stuck in society where you have to do things a certain way and you're miserable and you're trapped. Sometimes you feel trapped and you don't know what to do, and that's okay. Take a step back. Find one thing to change the pattern. That's something that we don't do often enough, is change the pattern. We get up every day, we do the same thing, and we're unhappy. And sometimes you just have to throw a little wrench in that gear. You know, for me, I got up, did the same thing every day for a long time. And then when I stopped doing that, you know what I'm going to do today? I'm going to get up a little earlier. I'm going to go for a jog down the street. And I don't even like running. I don't like jogging, but I'm going to do that. And when I get back, I'm going to feel better. I don't want to go, but I'm going to go. And then I threw a little wrench in the machine today because there's a lot of stuff you put off. And you know what? You don't have to go do those things right now, but just throw a little wrench in there, and slowly but surely you'll get there. Not everyone can just flick the switch. Sometimes I can. Sometimes I can just be like, all right, you know what we're going to do right now? We're going to get up. We're going to go do that thing that we've been putting off. We're going to stay up, work on that thing we haven't worked on. We're going to get up early, stay up late, whatever it takes. You can make those decisions to be happy. At the end of the day, overcoming obstacles in your life, no matter how big or small they are, and getting those little victories, that's what makes you a tough motherfucker. Not giving up. Perseverance. Be driven. Stay hard. All of those things. That's why you should wear a TMF shirt, support the brand, and support the lifestyle. Because, look, we're going to have bad days, and I'm going to share them. And we're going to have great days. I'm going to be happy to share those with you as well. And everything in the middle we can talk about. And if you want to talk about something on the podcast, I'd love to hear your story, whether you overcome sickness, physical issues, mental issues, job issues, relationship issues. It doesn't matter. If you want to share your story, get you some free TMF swag, leave me some comments. Let's hook up and talk about it. Until then, check out the Shopify page, the Etsy page. I got stuff on Amazon. If there's a shirt that you want that means something to you, just hit me up, man. I'll make it, send it right to you. We'll print that sucker right on up. Get you swagged out, right? Like the video, subscribe to the channel. I'm going to be putting more content on the TMF channel. Hopefully we'll have some cool guests on here as well. And I'm going to be sharing some of the products that we're coming out with. In the meantime, stay hard, and I'll see you guys next time.